Hi there, my name is Toby, and today I want to keep talking about life after death. And I want to explain to you the terracotta army. It's a big mystery that nobody seems to understand, but they know that it was to do with the afterlife. The emperor wanted to live on forever, and they constructed this thing, this tomb, to give him power in the afterlife. But how does this work? And it's the same across the world. We see it everywhere. The Egyptians had their tombs, and they built their tombs in the pyramids. Now the pyramids were far older, nothing to do with tombs, but later on, of course, they adopted them. Why? This was a particular type of technology. This is all to do with etheric technology. Etheric technology is to do with the etheric body, the energy, the life force itself. So it's not a technology that we in the modern world understand. We've got very primitive technology. We're only playing around with physical energy. We're only playing around with electricity, light, heat, kinetics, atoms. This is all just physical energy. There's a whole another level above this, etheric energy, consciousness itself. Now it's the same energy, so it follows the same laws. It still behaves in the same way, but it's a different level of energy, and it requires a different type of technology. So that's what these things were. The terracotta army, the tomb of the emperor, was etheric technology. This requires big structures. It requires geometry, mathematics. You see, geometry and mathematics, these are metaphysics. These are actually spiritual. Mathematics is spirit. It's the law of the universe, the law of the ether. And etheric energy is actually governed by this mathematics, by geometry. Particular geometry is good for building etheric energy. And it will be particular geometry to do with the golden ratio, a particular type of mathematics. This is spiritual, abstract. That's why we see all these ancient temples, pyramids, tombs. They all got this mathematics, geometry. Very clever. And it's proportionality, particular numbers. All of this is etheric technology, designed to build up etheric energy. And etheric energy is required for your energy body, your etheric body. So remember, there's 3 levels to life. I've got pure spirit. Pure spirit, that is immortal. That is the unconscious mind. That is abstract. Then I've got a soul. That is the energy body, the etheric body, emotional body. That is already a formation, a geometry. Pure spirit creates a geometry, a shape of a body, a light body. That's why we see the aliens, the angels, as light bodies. It's etheric energy condensing into light energy. All the same energy, just different levels of condensation, intensity, density. In order to have life, a living physical body, I need a perfect balance of the 5 elements. I need all different levels of the etheric energy, the ether. So many things have got to be going on for life in this physical body. Now, if I want to have a more powerful etheric body, so that after death It's like I'm still alive. Remember, there are 3 levels to this. Unconscious mind is spirit. Then you have the subconscious mind is the etheric body, the mind, the dreaming mind. Then you have the physical body, which is the waking mind. If I want to live on after death in the etheric body, it's like I'm going into the subconscious mind. I'm going into the dream. But I want to stay awake in the dream. So my consciousness will still continue, but I'm now in an etheric body. And I need some help. If I can create some technology around me that gives more power, then my etheric body will have more power. I can live on. And if I still have my physical body, the bones, that's why they had mummification. If you mummify the body or keep the skeleton, that allows a resonance. That is in itself a crystalline structure, a technology that allows the soul to stay connected. So that's why you would build a tomb. You would have the skeleton or the mummy. The longer you can have the mummy, the better. The more you can preserve, the better. Then you would have that in a box, a particular geometry, a technology around it. And you might have a sculpture. If you had a sculpture of the person, in the likeness of the person, again, that is a resonance. The soul can resonate with that sculpture, give more power to the etheric body. And in this terracotta army, there's more. It had rivers of mercury. That's energy, electricity. Electricity provides energy into the structure. We want all the levels. It had in the ceiling, it had pearls to be like stars shining in the sky. You even have aspects of light. You'd have crystals. But of course, the army were other souls. Again, the emperor is still a bit of a narcissist. It's still the dark side of the force. So they want to live on, but they want to take it. Yeah, all of you soldiers, they dedicated their lives, their loyalty to the master. And even in death, we will stay and look after you. So the terracotta army, of course, these were constructed sculptures, mass produced, high technology, but each one was personalized. So it could have represented a real person in the real army. And it's high technology because they had weapons, and all their weapons were perfectly preserved. A bronze sword with no erosion. And they found out it was chromium, plated with chromium, chrome plated. And they had rivers and lakes of mercury. High technology. And if you looked into it, the geometry would be very clever geometry. Perfect mathematics. But also beautiful. You create sculptures, organic shapes. That is, again, perfect mathematics, but it's the mathematics of the golden ratio. And you see this everywhere. Again, in the cathedrals, the churches, it's the same principle. An etheric technology is designed to resonate with real energy, light, stained glass windows, sound, electricity. They were electrostatic. But underneath the cathedrals, you would have tombs. You would have catacombs. All the bones underneath. So that is still etheric energy. That's why all these old world buildings were haunted. All the bones underneath. But it was to do with collecting etheric energy. Etheric body will have more power there. Now, it's not a bad thing or a good thing. It can be both ways. Look at it like this. The tomb of the mummies in the pyramids. Okay, the pyramids were not tombs. These were etheric energy generators. Physical energy as well. Very advanced technology, but ancient. Thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years old. Later on, the pharaohs made it tombs because, again, that was the dark side of the force. I want to live on. This will be my tomb. I will have this pyramid for myself. And then all, they'd have followers. You come in with me. You have to sacrifice your souls to give my soul more power. And they would have their mummy in there, preserved, and all these objects to look after them, give them more power in their energy body so they can live on. And the pyramid will be outside that, giving even more power to their energy body to live on. So the mummy is still alive, going off, the pharaoh, doing things. And then later on, of course, we come along, dig up the tomb, disturb the tomb, take the mummy out, and now you've got the curse of the mummy. Because that tomb was done by the dark side of the force. They wanted to live on. You come along, messed it up. So now the energy body comes back. Where's my tomb? Where's my energy? Where's my mummy gone? You've disturbed my technology. Now they're weaker. You see, that has given them power. You messed it up. So now they're weaker and they're upset, looking for it. Where's my body? Oh, it's gone to a museum in London. So the energy body of the pharaoh would go to their mummy in London, see it. It's there. Who stole it? Then they'll look for the person who stole it. You dug up and stole my body. Then they will curse them. Yeah, I'm going to punish you for that. But that's still the dark side of the force. On the light side of the force, you will get these monks, or you will get the Taoist masters, the ancient shaman. Now the real ones were very ancient. At the point of death, they would go into a cave. They would find a natural tomb. And they would seal off the cave from the inside. It's totally secret. No one knows. They haven't brought anyone else with them. And they would just go into deep meditation and mummify themselves. Slowly they would go dehydrated. And then they would pass over, but they had built a lot of etheric energy. And that skeleton, that mummy, was an energy technology for them. It was a crystalline structure. Remember, the bones are crystal. And it still had their form, their shape. It's a resonant structure that allows the build-up of etheric energy. So now they're still alive. They can travel off. But they don't really need it. They're still advancing to a higher and higher level. A very powerful etheric body can become a light body. And a light body doesn't need any of this. Now we're talking about angels, aliens. When we see an alien, you often see a light body. But you still have etheric technology. For example, an alien spacecraft. And you could have an egg-shaped spacecraft. We've seen that. But the egg shape is powerful etheric technology. It's mathematics, a particular geometry based on the golden ratio mathematics. So that will have a resonant effect in the etheric energy. And inside the spacecraft, you would have a light body. The alien is a light body, but maybe also a physical body. A physical body and a light body inside this technology. Again, it could be physical technology, just like the tomb of the emperor or a pyramid, that is physical technology, but designed to harness etheric energy. So in an alien spacecraft, you've got physical technology designed to harness etheric energy, and inside you would have a light body, an etheric body inside a physical body. And the whole thing would be controlled by the soul, the spirit. The spirit controls the etheric body, which controls the light body, which controls the physical body, but it also controls the technology around it. Now it goes off, it does what it wants. That's why people know it now. Alien technology is psychic technology. Controlled directly from the spirit. It's not controlled by physical energy. So we can't reverse engineer it. We're looking at alien craft, putting electricity on it, doing physical things to it. It doesn't work like that. It only works from a powerful etheric body. So we found it now. I've talked about it before. You've got these spheres, metal spheres. One of them is called the Booga sphere. Alien craft or alien drones, metal sphere, fall down. We found it. And we're experimenting, analysing it, trying to make it work. You're not going to make it work. But if the alien who built it comes in, it would work because they're a powerful etheric body. The alien would just walk in, touch it, and then off it would go. We're trying to do it. We can't do it. It needs etheric energy to control it, activate it. That's the same as this terracotta army. It's based on etheric energy. Now, there's 3 levels to this technology. The first level is pure mathematics and geometry, structure. We can see that in the cathedrals, the old temples. They are perfect geometries, very elaborate, complex geometry, resonating with mathematics itself. That's one level. Second level is organic structure, beauty. You will have these sculptures, and you even see ancient Greek sculptures, the sculptures in the churches. This is still etheric technology. They were creating a sculpture. It might not be of any particular person, but it was created in perfection. Look at the Greek gods. Perfect musculature. And someone's got to analyse it. It will be in proportion of the golden ratio. Look at the ancient Egyptian sculptures, the face. It's very stylised. It's stylised because it's a representation of perfect proportionality, the golden ratio mathematics. And the closer to perfection you can create this sculpture in the form of a body, the more power it has. So these sculptures are etheric technology designed to assist in the creation of an etheric body, life itself. So you can go and pray to this sculpture. It's not any particular being. It's a resonant structure that brings in energy, etheric energy, life force energy, so it will heal you. It's not so much you pray to it, you tune in to the resonant energy and you get some. So that's why these cathedrals, these temples, were healing structures. But they were spiritual structures. You go in there to heal your body and to give strength to your etheric body so that your soul has more power. You can live longer, and when you die, you can travel off. Continue. Now, originally, these were for more powerful beings. Later on, when the Pharaoh came along, the Emperor of China, they were weaker, not so strong beings. So they needed all this assistance. They needed all their slaves, their soldiers to come with them. Now you build up all the tombs, collect all the bones to give more power. Remember, it's not like the monk in the cave, all by themselves. A higher being doesn't even matter. A higher being still, at the point of death, you can cremate their body and still they will maintain an etheric body. But it's quite difficult to do. It requires higher spiritual practice to really live on in an etheric body. Usually we go back to the unconscious, go back to spirit. So that is more abstract. All our ancestors are in spirit. That's why they say rest in peace. But sometimes you have a ghost. A ghost is still an etheric body. And sometimes you have a more advanced ghost, a higher being, and they're in control, travel off. Usually a ghost is not in control. They're just stuck. But all these buildings have ghosts because they are collecting etheric energy. They have a graveyard and all the ghosts hang around because there's etheric energy there holding them. It's not necessarily a bad thing. That's why you have a tombstone. You can go and pray to the tombstone and maybe talk to the ghost of your loved one. So again, I was talking about the 3 levels. You have this perfect geometry, then you have organic geometry, beautiful sculptures. And the 3rd level is you have natural geometry, places of nature, and places of real energy. You see, that's again like this tomb of the emperor. It's got real energy, rivers of mercury. That's moving electricity. And he created natural formations inside. They had pearls in the sky to create stars, like starlight underground. They create real energy. Same as the pyramids. Pyramids were electrostatic, real energy. So physical energy is also involved. And in a natural place, for example, the monk got into a cave high on a mountain. Natural energy. And they would connect to the natural energy around them. Work together with the mountain. So now you can go to that mountain and connect to that master, for example, that monk. So the higher level beings, higher level etheric beings will connect to the natural energy, the ocean, the mountains, the forests. You go into the forest like a shaman, you die in the forest. They will also dig themselves a grave, lie in the grave, pass away. They go into the natural energy. Their spirit, their etheric body still lives on in the jungle. Natural energy. Very advanced etheric body will connect to the whole planet Earth. Whole of the Earth. They connect to it. Now they can travel into the universe far, far away, but they're using the power of the planet Earth to give power to their energy body to go off, travel. It's all to do with how consciousness interacts with the material world. And there are different levels of that interaction, different levels of that technology. And it's a real technology, a real science, but we have to feel it. So please do leave me any questions and comments, and thank you so much for your time in listening to me. And do check out my homepage. I've got so many videos talking about this in so many different ways, and they're all different. So just have a look through my playlist and skip through, choose any video. There must be something there that will interest you. So thank you so much again, and I look forward to seeing you in any of these other videos here.